A mountain of security reports does not protect anyone. The fix that actually lands does. That is the idea behind OpenAI Daybreak. OpenAI describes Daybreak as a defensive cybersecurity effort that brings together its cyber models, Codex Security workflows, trusted access controls, security partners, researchers, and open source maintainers. The point is not simply to find more bugs. Finding more bugs is easy to celebrate, until every maintainer wakes up under a pile of reports, duplicates, false positives, severity debates, half-finished patches, and politely worded panic. Daybreak is built around a different loop. Find a possible vulnerability. Validate whether it is real. Check if the affected code is reachable. Gather evidence. Understand severity. Build or refine a patch. Test the fix. Coordinate disclosure. Then let humans decide what actually lands. That last part matters. In the supplied sources, OpenAI keeps coming back to human review, trusted access, maintainer control, and established disclosure channels. So this is not a story about an AI robot sprinting through GitHub with a bucket of patches and a tiny hard hat. It is a story about using AI to speed up pieces of security work while keeping people responsible for the final decisions. There are a few pieces under the Daybreak umbrella. Codex Security is described as a defensive plugin inside Codex. OpenAI says it can scan a whole codebase, part of a codebase, or a specific change. It can produce reports with severity, affected code locations, validation evidence, remediation guidance, threat models, attack paths, and codebase-specific patches for review. GPT 5.5 Cyber is described as a more capable and more permissive model for advanced authorized cybersecurity work. OpenAI says it is in limited release for trusted defenders, with stronger verification, monitoring, scoped controls, and review. Then there is the Daybreak Cyber Partner Program, where security partners can use GPT 5.5 with trusted access for cyber in their own products and services. And the most concrete example is Patch the Planet. Patch the Planet is an OpenAI Daybreak initiative founded with Trail of Bits and run with partners including HackerOne and Caliph. Its goal is to help open source maintainers move from findings to fixes. That distinction is the whole episode. Open source software is shared infrastructure. A networking library, cryptography package, language runtime, or software supply chain tool can sit underneath thousands of other systems. But many important projects are maintained by small teams with limited time. So if AI makes vulnerability discovery faster, it can also make the maintainer problem worse. More reports, more triage, more duplicates, more false positives, more people asking for urgent attention from the same tiny group. Patch the Planet tries to put a filter in front of that queue. OpenAI says engagements begin with maintainers defining priorities, preferences, and disclosure processes. Researchers investigate potential vulnerabilities, validate meaningful issues, refine patches, support testing, and coordinate disclosure through the project's established channels. In other words, do not just throw a bug report over the wall. Walk it through the boring parts that make users safer. OpenAI says early Daybreak work involved projects and systems like curl, Python, Go, Sigstore, PyCA/cryptography, DNSMask, FreeBSD, OpenBSD, browser engines, and HTTP2 implementations. It also reports benchmark scores, scan counts, issue counts, patch counts, and speedups from AI-assisted workflows. Those numbers may be important, but they should be handled carefully. In this source set, those are OpenAI's first-party claims. The sources do not independently audit every benchmark, issue count, patch list, or time estimate. And OpenAI says many technical details are still withheld while coordinated disclosure continues. So the clean takeaway is not, AI has solved patching. The clean takeaway is, AI may make discovery faster, so defenders need a better path from discovery to validated fixes. For defenders, that means treating AI-assisted security like a workflow, not a magic scanner. Require authorization, scope the work, monitor usage, demand evidence, filter false positives, review severity, test patches, coordinate disclosure, keep maintainers and system owners in control. For open source maintainers, the promise is extra security capacity without losing agency over the project. For security teams, the promise is fewer hand-wavy alerts and more findings that come with proof, context, and a patch path. And for everyone else, the lesson is simple. A vulnerability report is a smoke alarm. Useful, but not the same as putting out the fire. Daybreak is OpenAI's attempt to connect the alarm to the people, tests, patches, and disclosure steps that actually reduce risk. The future of AI security will not be measured only by how many bugs a model can find. It will be measured by how many real fixes make it safely into the software everyone depends on.